Yo, Skip Wonder, run that shit.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the show, man. You ain't gonna believe this shit podcast, man. And we are talking sports today. Man. You ain't gonna believe this shit podcast, man. Welcome back. Welcome back. So how was y'all day? Well, how's your day going? Day's still young. It's still early Saturday morning, man. We bring it to you on Saturday morning. Yeah, I know it's something different, but we had to get going and get this thing off, man. I haven't been wanting to get up on here, but I've been busy. Been a busybody, man. But anyway, we here, we live, and we are talking sports today. You ain't gonna believe this shit podcast, sports, man. Yes, and also remember, while we talking about podcasts, remember to go check us out on Spotify, check us out on Apple Podcasts, and also on YouTube Podcasts, and listen to us audio. Listen to our audio version of the show, us audio. That ain't even make no sense, Terrence. That shit crazy. You ain't gonna believe this shit podcast, man. Anyway, yeah, so you can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube Podcasts. We are moving on up in the world, y'all. We are moving on up in the world. All right, man. Well, let's see what we're talking about today. Let's see what our topics are, man. Pull these things on up here. All right. January 25th. January the 25th, man. This month is almost over. Did a lot of y'all get any snow, man? Y'all getting any snow? We got a little bit down this way, man. All right. College playoffs. We're doing college playoffs. Talk about that. Do a little recap on that. College rankings. I'm going to give you my college rankings. The end of the season college rankings. Top 10. Top 10, y'all. I'm going to give y'all my top 10 college rankings. We're going to talk some NFL playoffs. Talk about the games last week. What to expect for this week. Who you got, man? And then we're going to give you the Super Bowl picks. Who do I think is going to the Super Bowl? You ain't going to believe this shit podcast, man. Who do I think is going to the Super Bowl? Game picks coming your way, y'all. Game picks coming your way. It's been a real interesting season. It's been a fun season for both college and pros. And it went by so fast. It went by so fast, man. That is crazy how that just flew by. Anyway, let's get into it, man. Let's get into it here. College football playoffs, national championship game. Did the best team win? Did the best team win? Yes, the best team won. The best team won the whole thing, y'all. Ohio State was the best overall team in college football this year. Hands down, man. Hands down, it was the best. They was the best. It was the best, especially when you now with that NIL, and you can spend up to what 20 million on a team. You need to be the best, but you still got to get out there and play, though. You still got to get out there and play. Um, Anybody can be beaten any given Saturday or Sunday, whatever day you play on. That's why you play the game, man. So it don't matter how much you paying your players now in college. Anybody can be beat. I mean, look, Michigan beat them during the season. So yeah, anybody can be beat. Anybody. So, but hats off to Ohio State. Y'all did what y'all supposed to do. Y'all won. They pulled it out, y'all. They beat Notre Dame 34-23. That was the final score. 34-23. Ohio State. Now, do the score really tell the tale? Nah, because the score makes it seem like it was closer than it should have been, y'all. This actually should have been a blowout. This should have been a blowout. Notre Dame, it's still mind-boggling. I'm still confused on why y'all came out with that game plan of running your quarterback like that. They just ran this man back to back to back to back to back. I mean, you scored, of course. You scored 7-0. But you still didn't have a game plan. And once Ohio State figured, y'all just gonna run your quarterback the whole game. You ain't gonna pass. You ain't gonna use your receivers or your running back. Man, this game should have been a 40-point blowout. This game wasn't even this close to what the score is, what you're seeing on right here on this, what you're seeing right there, man. Game wasn't even this close. And the only reason Notre Dame scored is the damn Ohio State went into prevent defense. That was poor game planning. Plus, Notre Dame, for the future, man, get y'all some big linemen, offense and defense. I mean, God, y'all are talented, you're skillful, but man, y'all are just too small of a team compared to these Big Ten, SEC teams, man. You're too small. And it wears on you throughout the game. And it showed. It showed every time y'all get to these championship games, you're just too small of a team. But congratulations, you did make it to the playoffs. You made it to the national championship game, the first one. Y'all had a great season. Hats off to you. Hats off to the coaching staff and the players. Good job. And good job to the Ohio State Buckeyes for winning the national championship. First college playoffs. Good job. Good job. Good job. But that was a good game, man. And college football season was real interesting this year with the playoffs. That turned out to be a excellent um, playoffs. Like the format was great. Now the teams, you know what? The teams deserve. They won their conference. They won their games. So the teams deserve to be in there. And it played out just like everybody wanted to see, man. And it was a good playoffs. It was a good college playoffs, man. And I can't wait the next season to see how it's gonna play out again. Matter of fact, not next, just for the future of college football, man. It was great to see. It was a great, exciting season, man. Y'all did a great job. All the teams that made the playoffs, good job for y'all, man. And let's see if y'all can make it again, man. Let's see who we have a new champion of Ohio State. Run it back. Yes, will they run it back? What would they do? Because that was a real good season, man. So good job, Ohio State. Y'all did y'all thing, man. Good job, Ohio State. All right, so let's keep on moving, y'all. Let's see what else we're going to talk about today. Oh, let's get in the rankings. Let's get the rankings in here. College football 2024, end of season rankings. Who's your top 10? Who finished in your top 10 this season? Who finished in your top 10 this season? Well, my rankings, end of the year rankings, some of y'all going to be surprised. You're going to be surprised. Now, just because you beat a team really don't mean that you're better than that team. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Some teams could have had a bad game that specific day. That don't mean you were a better team. That means you won. You did what you're supposed to do. Everybody go to the game to win. So, and you won. But, are you really a better team? All right, this is my top 10. I'd like to see y'all top 10, man. So put in your comments your top 10 end of the season rankings. All right, here go my top 10 end of season rankings for the college football season 2024. First, we starting with Ohio State. They are the champs. They are the best team in college. They were last year, the best team in college football. Ohio State. Yeah, they lost, but they're the best team. Penn State. So I'm doing the rankings compared to the 12 teams that made the playoffs. Let me get that in there. The 12 teams that made the college playoffs, I am ranking those teams within my top 10. So this is the teams that made the college playoffs. The 12 teams, I'm ranking my top 10 teams end of the year. So Penn State is number 2. Penn State number 2. Georgia is my number 3 team. Georgia was out. Quarterback was hurt, so they wasn't able to play at full strength. But everybody's hurt. Everybody's hurting. So that's understandable. But anyway, they wasn't fully at full strength. Texas, number 4. So y'all might, why you got Georgia ahead of Texas? Texas was full strength. But at the end of the day, Georgia's still better than Texas, man. Texas is not a better team than Georgia. I mean, it's proved. They beat them twice this year. Texas act like, I ain't going to get into it. Anyway, Texas number 4. Arizona State number 5. Notre Dame number 6. And you like, well, they made it to the championship game. They lost Ohio State. Why are they so far down? Because they are that far down. They are a great team. They really are. They made it to the championship game. They beat the teams on this list, Penn State, for example. But I just don't think they are better, overall better. Even though you win, that don't mean that you're better than that specific team that you played that day. So Notre Dame is number 6. Oregon, number 7. We put you at number 7, Oregon. The way y'all just got manhandled, smacked, spanked, drug, mauled, whatever you want to call it, that made me think that Y'all are highly overrated, man. The way y'all came out like that and laid an egg on Ohio State did that to y'all. You number 7, man. You number 7. It might be too high. You number 7. Number 8, I have Tennessee. Tennessee was a good. They had a good season. I like the quarterback. They got to get a little better. He got to get his confidence up. He can throw that ball. Get you some more weapons. Y'all should have a good season next year. Clemson. Clemson made my number 9 spot. Although they had up and down seasons, they still made the playoffs due to some teams losing. But it is what it is. They made it. That's what I like about the playoff system this year, man. They made it because the team lost. They had a better record, everything. Miami, Hurricanes, losing. Damn, they can't even stop nobody. Can't give me one stop. Hurricanes, and that's my team, man. I'm a Hurricane fan. I couldn't get a stop. Anyway, Clemson. Y'all made it, man. Y'all did what y'all was supposed to do. You were supposed to win, and y'all won. So Clemson made my number 9 spot. And we're going to end it with Boise State. Boise State rounds out the number 10 spot. They had one of the best running backs in college football. The man was unstoppable. Even though the competition might not have been as elite as other conferences in college football, but at the end of the day, he still did his job. And against the teams that was on his Boise State schedule. Everybody knew he was running it, but they couldn't stop him. So, Boise State, you're number 10. So this is my end of the season rankings in college football 2024. Once again, Ohio State is number 1. Penn State, number 2. Georgia, number 3. Texas, 4th. Arizona State, 5th. Notre Dame, 6th. Oregon, 7th. Should have been probably lower. Tennessee, 8. Clemson, 9. Boise State, 10. Just tell me what you think, man. Give me your top 10. Put it in the comments. Let me know your top 10 end of the season rankings. The teams that made the college playoffs, y'all. Only the teams that made the college playoffs, give me your top 10 of those teams. I can't wait till next season, man. It's going to be a good season. Y'all ain't going to believe this shit podcast. Great college football year, man. Great college football year. All right, let's move on to our next topic, y'all. Let's see what we got. What we talking here? NFL playoffs. Divisional round playoffs. Which team's season was a failure? Which team's season was a failure, y'all? Who y'all think I'm going to say? What you think I'm going to say? Oh, let me show y'all the cup. This is the prototype. You ain't going to believe this shit podcast. Cups. Yeah, beautiful. Prototype coming soon to store near you. Yeah. All right. So, NFL playoffs, man. We had some great games last week. Oh, man. Great games last week. Great games and some upsets last week. Yes, we did. And one upset was Washington Commanders beating the Detroit Lions. Man, I have Detroit going to the Super Bowl, y'all. That was my beginning of the season pick. Detroit from the NFC heading to the Super Bowl. That was my pick. I picked Detroit Lions because I thought this was the year. And and during the season, they did not let me down. They were destroying teams. They were, putting that thing on them. You hear me? Putting that thing on these teams, man. But, as I stated earlier, that's why you play the game. Anybody can be beat any given Sunday, any given Saturday, whatever day the game was on. Anybody can be beat. And Detroit Lions, you were beat. You had an ugly game. You played an ugly game, but you was in the game though. You had your opportunity, but mistakes, turnovers will kill you in the playoffs. The playoffs, you are playing the best of the best. Teams made the playoffs for a reason. That means they are a great team to make the playoffs. First of all, and your record is 0-0 in the playoffs. You're playing the best teams in your division, conference in the playoffs. You might have a better record, but the records are 0-0, and you lost. But give a shout out to them Washington Commanders. Y'all ball out. And I'm a Cowboys fan, and I got to give y'all some credit. Commanders, y'all did y'all thing. Y'all looking good. You looking good. You got my Dallas old defensive coordinator. Jerry Jones let everybody go. Campbell, my coordinator gone to Washington, head coach, my offensive old coordinator in Philadelphia. Everybody leaving Dallas and winning. What the hell going on with that? Y'all ain't gonna believe this shit, man. My coach is leaving the Cowboys, and both my ex-coaches, one of them is going to be in the Super Bowl. One of the coaches is going to be in the Super Bowl. Where the hell they do that at? I don't know, man. But yeah, man, this game was a great game. Jared Goff he had 313 yards, 1 touchdown, those 3 interceptions hurt. Even though the last interception it was there, so you just throwing it, but they hurt. Wrong time, wrong place, wrong time for the interceptions. Turnovers hurt. Jaden Daniels, 299 yards, 2 touchdowns, 22 out of 31 percentage rate. Daniels balling, man. Daniels is balling. Man, playing good, man. But yeah, that right there, that was a good game. I did not see that coming. Like I said, man, I had Washington. I had Detroit. I had Detroit the Super Bowl. But stick around, though. Stick around. You will see who I have going to the Super Bowl now. All right, let's talk about the other game here. Let's talk about the other game. The AFC Divisional Playoffs. Baltimore versus Buffalo. Baltimore versus Buffalo. I had Baltimore winning this game. I had them winning this game, yeah. I thought Baltimore was the better team. Actually, well, like I just said, anybody can be beat any given day. Any given day. And turnovers hurt you, man. In the playoffs, you're playing the best teams in your conference, in your division. Records are 0-0. Jackson, 254 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Henry, 16 carries, 84 yards. Likely, 4 receptions, 73 yards. And Buffalo, Allen, he was 16 of 22 with 127 yards. Cook, 17 carries, 67 touchdowns. Shakur, 6 receptions, 67 yards. So what happened with this game? I know y'all been watching sports shows all week long, and everybody been, breaking down the game, telling you what they thought happened, what who shoulda, coulda, woulda, but didn't. Was the drop pass, did that lose the? Well, it did lose the game for him. But if Andrews would have caught the pass to go into overtime, would Baltimore would have won the game? We don't know. We don't know if Baltimore would have won in overtime or not. So, but they lost in regulation. We know that. So we can't say if you would have caught the pass, they would have won. No, we don't know that. We don't know that. I could say that Baltimore had the most pressure on them to win. Buffalo with Allen had almost a whole new team out there, man. Almost a whole new team with Buffalo. And Allen led them boys to the playoffs. And now they're in the championship game, the AFC championship game. Baltimore went out and got Henry and some more players to get to the Super Bowl. Their season was Super Bowl or bust for the Baltimore Ravens. You have a 2 times back-to-back MVP, one of the best running backs in the league. He had a tremendous season. He had Henry, well, he had almost 1,900 yards, damn near 2,000 yard rushing. Baltimore, I think, lost this game. You see that 16 carries for Henry, 84 yards? You went out and got Henry for a reason. Why do you go and get a running back? They went and got Henry for the playoffs, y'all. To run the ball in the playoffs. First game, he did that. You run Henry. Lamar, you run Henry. You give the ball to Henry 30 times if you have to. You run him. You run him. Now, Lamar, you had a great season, man. Hell of a season. You might win MVP again for the 3rd time in a row. You had one of them seasons, man. One of them years. But Baltimore, you went and got Henry for a reason. Run him. You went and got him for a reason. You know it's cold. You know the weather conditions are bad. Run the ball with one of the best running backs this season in the league was on your team, and you just ran him 16 times. Now, if this was any other game, you probably would have ran him 20 plus times. All of a sudden, now you don't want to run him. Baltimore. Y'all lost this game, man. Y'all lost this game. You got to run Henry, man. You got to run Henry. Yeah. You got to run Henry. Now let's go. Let's look at the MVP, y'all. So everybody's stating Henry, the MVP came down to these 2 players here. We talked about this earlier, but let's bring it back up. All right, these are your 2 MVP candidates right here. At the end of the year, these 2 players right here get the most noise. These are their stats for the end of this regular season. This is regular season. I mean, Lamar's stats are just awesome. But what do your eyes tell you? What do you see? What did you see? Remember, Josh Allen had a whole new squad, man. Damn near whole new receivers, new receiver core, defensive. The team was new, man. Nobody was putting pressure on Buffalo Bills to get there as Baltimore. They was in the Super Bowl. Season start, Baltimore, Super Bowl. They already had them written in there. But Josh Allen led his team. Now they in the AFC Championship game. So just because your stats are good, don't mean that you are the better player. Look at your team. It's a team sport. Hey, 4 interceptions all year. That is awesome. 4,000 yards. That's awesome. 12 wins. He had 13 wins. QBR, about the same. Rushing, we all know Lamar is a running quarterback. Josh Allen can run too. Lamar, you lost that game to Buffalo. You lost the MVP. Josh Allen will be the MVP of the 2024-2025 season. When you lost that game, Lamar, you lost the MVP. Not saying you don't deserve it. If you're a numbers guy, there goes the numbers. He should win it. But what do your eyes tell you, man? What do your eyes tell you? Who is the better player this year? Josh Allen. Josh Allen, the better player this year. And he should be your MVP, y'all. Josh Allen, MVP. Man, that was a good game, though. That was a real good game. Real good game. 25-27. If he would have caught that pass, overtime, who would have won? We don't know. It is what it is. That's how it played out. Next year, Next year, Baltimore. Next year. If Henry's still on the team and he stays healthy, he has another year, you run Henry 20-plus times in playoff games. If not, y'all always going to be dominant during the season, but get there and lose. Your history, man, you're predictable. You are predictable, Baltimore. You get there and you lose. You are predictable. Man, y'all are predictable. But I did predict y'all to win that game. But that's the only game, that's the farthest you was going to go anyway. Because y'all predictable. Y'all predictable. All right, y'all, what else we got going? Breaking news, South Carolina defeats LSU. This was last night game. South Carolina defeated LSU 66-56. 17 straight wins versus LSU. Boy, them Gamecocks on LSU. Don Staley, she taking her glove off her hand and just smacking it. Pow, pow, pow. LSU. Y'all can't beat them Gamecocks, man. Them Gamecocks something serious. Them Gamecocks something serious this year, y'all. They gonna win it again. Matter of fact, I think this team is better than last year's team. Them Gamecocks something serious, man. They deep. They have shooters. They got ball handlers. Yeah, they gonna win again, y'all. Them Gamecocks, y'all. South Carolina defeats LSU last night, 66-56. Matter of fact, LSU is it was undefeated. Undefeated. Haven't lost a game all season. And it was averaging about 90 points a game. LSU, y'all. Guess what they had last night? 56. 56. Them chickens put that claw on them. Couldn't do nothing. Couldn't do a thing. Gamecocks will win the national championship again, y'all. You heard it here first. You ain't gonna believe this shit podcast. Them damn Gamecocks, something serious, man. Hey, Don Staley got them girls balling. Balling. All right, let's get to our last topic here, y'all. Last topic for this evening. NFL playoffs. Games to watch. Who's going to the Super Bowl? Who do you have going to the Super Bowl? Y'all know who I have. Y'all know who I have going to the Super Bowl. If you don't know, now you know. I'm about to tell you. Okay. So this is it, y'all. Championship games this weekend. Well, tomorrow. Championship games tomorrow, y'all. We have the Bills at the Chiefs. Bills at the Chiefs. It's going to be a good game, y'all. Now, beginning of my picks, beginning of the season, before the season kicked off, I had predicted the Chiefs versus the Lions. That was my pick. That was my Super Bowl, y'all. The Chiefs versus the Lions. So now I'm down to one team. So I got to stick with my Chiefs. Remember what I said about the Bills? They had a new team this year. They had new players. Some still open, but they had new players, new receivers. And Josh Allen led them to the AFC Championship game. Chiefs had beat Buffalo the last couple of times. Now, the Bills had those games won, but in the last daggone seconds, minutes, some kind of way, somehow, the Chiefs always pulled it out. Now, you might be saying, well, the Chiefs haven't been looking good all season. They ain't been the same team. They can't do this, whatever the case may be. At the end of the day, the name of the game is to win. I don't care how you win. It could be ugly. They won all year long. Now you might say, well, the refs be helping them out. The refs this, ref. Yeah, every game gonna have some missed calls. Every game has that. You can't make all the correct calls. But yes, they do miss calls. Yes, the Chiefs has been winning by a few points. But guess what? They know how to win. They don't get nervous. They don't panic. They just go out there and win. So I had the Chiefs going to the Super Bowl. Had the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, y'all. I'm going to stick with that. I don't think the Bills have enough, but they are a good team. Josh Allen is good. But I don't have the Bills beating my Chiefs. I've been saying this all year long. The Chiefs. I'm a Cowboy fan. I might. Somebody send me a bandwagoner application. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. I'm gonna go with Patrick Mahomes. Somebody send me a bandwagon application. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. I'm jumping on the Chiefs bandwagon. DC, you got what you got here? Bills and Commanders. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, we agree on one team. I have the Commanders beating the Eagles. I have the Commanders beating the Eagles. Why is that, Terrence? First, the Eagles are hot right now. The Eagles are playing the best football out of all the teams, pretty much. I think so. I think they are playing the best football right now. And I think Jaden Daniels has surprised some teams, and the game hasn't gotten too big for him. The game has slowed down, and they are playing to his strengths, meaning the offensive coordinators are playing to his strengths. Unlike Baltimore, your strength is to run the ball, was to run the ball, but you decide not to run the ball, Baltimore. So yeah, I like Washington. The Eagles right now are balling. They have a tough defense. Um, they have a good team, but plus Jalen Hurts now is hurt. Jalen Hurts is he might still play, but that tackle that he took, if y'all don't know what I'm talking about, go back and look at that highlight, man, of that hit he took. He is not healthy. I don't care what nobody say. He is not going to be the Jalen Hurts that you have seen all year. But now you're going to say, well, everybody's hurt. Nah, this is a type of different hurt. This he will not be able to move. He ain't going to be the same. He is not going to be Jalen Hurts. So I'm going to get an edge to the Commanders. So now the Commanders only do that stop. Well, they still got Eagles still have two outstanding receivers. They still have an awesome running back. So don't get me wrong now. Do they still have the pieces? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. They still have the defense? Yes, they do. But I think Commanders is having a year like the Kansas City, the Cincinnati Bengals year when they went to the Super Bowl that year. I think they having that one of those years. And it seemed like every now and then a team just had that year, like the Giants when they won it. They just got hot at the right time and went all the way to the Super Bowl and beat the Patriots twice. This is the year I feel with the Commanders. So I have Chiefs versus Commanders. That's my Super Bowl picks, Chiefs and Commanders. But we'll see. That's why they play the games tomorrow. We will see. So, yeah, tell me who y'all got, man. Put in the comments who you got. Put in the comments who you got. Who's your team? Who's going to the Super Bowl, man? Who's going to the Super Bowl? Put in the comments. Let us know what you're thinking. Who you picking? Who are you picking? And that's it, man. Who are you picking? I have the Chiefs and the Commanders. And I'll let you know who's going to win before the Super Bowl. I'm going to let you know who's going to win before the Super Bowl. I got to see how they play. Before I give you my wins, my prediction, who's going to win. But the team who's going is Kansas City and the Commanders. I started to say the daggone Redskins. But yeah, I got Kansas City and the Commanders. Super Bowl. Super Bowl bound. Super Bowl bound, y'all. And that's it, man. Let me give y'all a recap. Not a recap, but let me give you this real quick. Give you some reminders. Give you the reminder that this is You Ain't Gonna Believe This Shit podcast. And you have been a witness to the best podcast on social media. We getting there, y'all. We getting there. And also, y'all ain't gonna believe this shit, man. And also, y'all can listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube Podcasts. Yeah, so get on your phone, go to Spotify, go to Apple Podcasts, open it up, find You Ain't Gonna Believe This Shit podcast, and start following us on there, man. Start following us on there. So yeah. Plus, you can always watch us live too on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. So you can catch us all over. We got you covered, man. We got you covered. We got you covered. We got you covered. All right, y'all. That's it for the show, man. We want to thank y'all for watching. This was You Ain't Gonna Believe This Shit Podcast Sports. And we are back again Monday with You Ain't Gonna Believe This Shit Sports. And we also, let me give you the rundown. Let me give you the shows before I forget. Mondays, we are doing sports talk, 7:30. 7:30, Mondays, sports. Tuesdays, we talking about what's going on in the world, y'all. Local news, world news, street news, all type of news. Tuesdays, 7:30. And on Wednesdays, we giving you that midweek scripture with our pastor, Pastor Elijah L. Jeter, 7:30, Wednesdays. So there it is. Tune in and watch live, y'all. Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. We got you covered, man. We talk about everything. All angles. All angles. So that is our rundown. So you know when to catch us and where to catch us. Man, You Ain't Gonna Believe This Shit Podcast, y'all. And there it is. There it is. Thanks for watching, man. And we'll be back Monday for another edition of some sports talk. And until then, we'll see you Monday. You have a safe rest of your Saturday, safe Sunday, and come back and watch us on Monday. Be easy, be safe. Peace.